What's up, everybody? So I'm trying to see where I can see the chat. On here. What's up, Giovanni? Trying to figure out how I could find the link. Yeah, dude, waiting for him. I'm gonna blast the link out on some inside Discord and everything. Just give me a sec. We blast it out on Instagram as well. Couple more minutes, guys. We'll get it going. I'm just putting out some memos to get some people on in. Oh, Giovanni, she is fun. She is fun, I'll tell you that much. A blast. I'm getting exhaust on it Thursday. So you'll see it then. Sup, Dope Flamingo 88. I like the name. Fadi, what's up, bro? Let's see here. Be back in like 5-ish minutes, and we'll get this show on the road no matter how many's here. We'll get it going. I think I just got to send out the link a little bit earlier. So, just give me a few minutes. She will be on Thursday. It is right now. But it will be, you'll see. It'll sound like straight thunder. Let's see. Yeah, let's give it like a couple more minutes. Let some people roll on in. I just blasted the link out a little bit. I'm just prepping up some charts, and we will get it going pretty soon. Gonna move some of these. Extension. Oh, you guys are gonna get a gem too on APOP. You guys are gonna get a gem today, so whoever hops in, you guys will see one of my top strategies that I use. I appreciate it, bro. Always feels good to get the fruits of the labor. Here, one sec. We're gonna grab some water and we will start it off. I want to make sure that some stuff is connected real quick. Alright. Yes, sir. It has been. Works very, very well. Alright, so I'm probably just going to kick it off here. Make a little Word doc. So what I'm going to be looking at today is the top gainers. I'm going to go over some of those, how we're going to play them tomorrow or look to play them. The usual kind of blue chips that I talk about, and large cap names and such. It's still 480p. Really? Filters. There's no filters on it right now. Properties. Let me try something here. We might have to switch to doing Zoom next time. I'll do it through Zoom. Right now I'm using like OBS, so it's pretty rough, I'm assuming. Yeah. Let's see. Let me know if that helped at all. Video bitrate. I'm gonna raise the bitrate. Hopefully that sharpened it up a little bit. Okay, cool. Yeah, as long as you guys can see stuff for the most part. So yeah, real quick, we'll dive into it. So like I said, we're gonna go over a lot of the top gainers, blue chips, the ones that I watch on a daily basis, and then create a little watch list for tomorrow if we see anything that is running. So Netflix, just looking at it here, basically this thing has been uptrending, and the dips have been getting bought on this intraday on every single move. It basically just will run every day, fade off pre-market or after hours or at the end of the day, run, fade off, run, fade off, run, fade off. So this thing has been doing it every single day. So literally over here too, run, fade off, run, fade off. It's just been fading at the end of the day near the close. So I'm going to keep an eye on it tomorrow for a pop into 445. I'm really just trying to track when this thing is going to get some sort of double top to take it short, but it's not my top play. It's not a play that I'm in love with, but the fact that we have two Bollinger Bands on two strong time frames, this $445.46 on the daily, and this 445.56 on the hourly. That's really what I'm watching, as well as hard resistance from the high today. So that's kind of what I'm going to keep a watch on for Netflix. So let's write that down real quick. Netflix 445.50 double top, or not double top, resistance, keeping an eye on it. So we got the Bollinger Band on the hourly and Bollinger Band on the daily, so we're watching there. So let's go through some more. NVIDIA, do we have anything on NVIDIA? Yeah, we do. We have these two strong EMAs on my hourly that I'm watching. So these are the 20s, 20 SMA, 20 EMA. Anytime that two EMAs line up like this on my charts, that's very, very strong in my opinion. So also it kind of correlates with the 5-minute 200 SMA. So I use a lot of EMAs as my lines, as you guys know. So that's what I'm going to be keeping an eye on. So basically I'm watching for a dip at the open down to that level, 318 whole number. That's also above this 52-week high breakout that we had today. So it actually broke out at 316.80, or was it 316.40, my bad. Right at the open, pushed and just kept going throughout the day. So what I want to see is a drop into that 318, let it go through, buy it on a reclaim, risk below that 316.42 level. So resistance turns into support, as we know, and that's kind of the concept there with NVIDIA. So let me write that down for you guys. For a dip buy at 318 on a reclaim, risk below 52-week high, res turned support. Next, Amazon. Same sort of thing, just not, it's not a 52-week breakout, but I'm watching the dip at $2,394 and around 80 cents or so and change, basically around this level with high caps. I give it a little bit more of a range. I don't pick a specific price as I would like a pop over here. I'd be like, okay, 510, this is what I'm looking at. I'll pick some sort of distant range a little bit. and take it. If we break down there, don't break through, reclaim, and push. I'm going to look for the dip buy down here with a little more size around this 2,378 level. So that'll be a pretty deep fade if we get that. Yeah, let's look at the market too, how we're doing. After hours, so selling off a little bit. After hours there. So we got SPY here, pushing down into 291. So market's going to open up a little bit lower, unless in the morning we start to gap up. But those are the two areas I'm watching on Amazon. So let's move on to some more ones. So BABA held up today pretty well. I like that it has this little range here that it's made on the 5 from like 205 to 206.70. That's what I'll be keeping an eye on tomorrow. But I like the dip buy at 204. Same exact thing. You guys can see where the value is tomorrow that I'm looking at. 204.22 dip buy. Or I'm looking for the pivot break of 206.68 if this Bollinger Band gets extended. This thing has room on the daily. So I can get some juice going there. Throughout the week, if this thing starts to push and the market kind of holds up, this thing could see 215.40s again. So I'm going to write down BABA for you guys. 204.18 dip buy region, or break off the highs of today's session. Any kind of questions on any of the plays? I like to say that I do, but lately it's been split. And when I do, I'll trade more large caps, but my profits on smalls are bigger. If that makes sense. I lever into them a lot more. Like, I'll have large caps where I'm consistently hitting, $300, $400 gains. But small caps, I have those bigger wins, typically. NBL, let me see here. Energy. On this one, yeah, it looks like it's trying to. So let's break it down here, right? We were trend holding on this on the daily, an uptrend clearly. We have clear resistance around this 1030 level. So what you're going to need to do is see a daily candle confirm above this 1033 level and push higher. And then your next spot is this 100, I think it's 100 SMA I have, 1262, which is also the gap fill region. So basically you need that flat top breakout there for it to push. Apple. But NBL right now, don't touch it. There's not really anything to do on it. Apple, I'm looking for the drop into 312. And if we get a deep sell-off, 308. This thing has been just very strong on the daily. I mean, look at that. That's just beautiful. It's literally almost back up at... So here's the crazy thing. Tech, if you look at a lot of tech stocks, right? If we look at Apple, if you look at Netflix, if you look at NVIDIA, tech is rallying, right? The tech sector and industry is literally pushing towards highs. If you look at the major movers, they're all holding up. But when you look at defense stocks, stuff like Boeing, I know Boeing is related to the actual airline industry, but these things are getting hit. What's propping the market up right now are tech stocks. BABA's not getting any activity really. It's getting activity, it's just not really holding up as much as tech is. Right? Yeah, you got to notice these trends and see what's holding up and what's not. So like you have so XLK, I believe. Yeah, so XLK is a tech ETF. This is everything on spiders, but it usually follows the market pretty in line. But you could still see this is higher and a little bit better looking than the overall market itself. So go into, let's check out Roku real quick. Roku, nothing really interesting I like there. JD, I was looking to swing JD. I'm actually kind of annoyed that I didn't. For you guys in chat, you know why. A little something to do with this. So, if we get a pop into 47.25 hourly Bollinger Band, I'll look to take a stab at this thing short and swing it. Target would be around 45 bucks. Whole number. So I'll put that in there. You know, it's not a huge trade, but you can put a size on this because it doesn't have that big a range. And we basically had a pretty strong double top on the daily. It's not perfect, but it's there. So JD 47.25 pop for the short back down into 45. Let's look at NVAX. This thing ran hard as hell after hours. Wow. Let me look at the news on that. I didn't really look at it yet. NVAX. %38 narrows Q1 net loss from a year ago. Novavax to get new funding from nonprofit for clinical trials. Okay, so it's more Corona news. So up pretty big. Tomorrow, right now I really don't have anything for it on what I'm actually watching, so I want to see how this opens up and what we do. This mark, I'm short it from around 186 average. I'm going to cut it over 194. So as you see, I've done a lot of painting on this thing, but I'm going to cut it over highs if we get there. Basically, this thing is up on rumors of them saying that they worked out a partnership with Wynn Resorts, and that was only like basically through an email, so it was a leaked email. So Wynn also, there's a rumor that they denied any involvement in that. So this thing I'll be swinging. Very strong volume today though, so that's why I have tight risk on this. I'm not going to let this thing go against me because it has room up to 212. I'm not going to let that thing go all the way to there. If it goes to there, I'll just re-up and average in up here at 212, get a better average, have no stress. I'm not going to swing this thing from my 184 average, let it beat against me. I'm just going to cover, re-up up there, and swing it some more. So I'm actually swinging GoGo as well, which finished pretty strong today. They had earnings. It was mixed, but more on the positive side. Perking off the bottom here with that earnings catalyst, strong volume coming in today. We close at highs, close above the 13 EMA and the hourly, near highs, so I'm looking for this thing to initially push into 195. It'll find some resistance. This is a swing trade too, so put your targets on and have a swing trade mentality. Push into 195, you have 192, daily Bollinger Band there. Then we're going to find some resistance around 208. That I think we could break through. My target is 230 on this, so that's what I'm watching on GoGo. About a week to 2 week horizon on this. But as you can see, it chopped around intraday, but it still held up. So APOP, we're gonna get into something real quick before I sign off. And as you guys know, I have a 7 times ATR strategy that I use. So anytime a stock goes 7 times its average true range, that's where I'm looking for a certain bar break criteria to take it short. So I actually didn't hit this today just because I actually wasn't really looking at it in the morning too much. But I wanted to review this and show really the process of this. So this blue line right here at 408, 407 is 7 times ATR. As we'd see on the daily, this thing likes to fade off every time it runs. Look at these. When has this thing held a run? Look at these wicks. Right? Why would today be any different? Right? So push 7 times ATR, that means it's in prime short. It has prime criteria for me. 524 was the first bar break you saw. After the initial push over it, my targets are set on these EMAs and SMAs that I go over in chat and everything. Right? Snap there, you had a push, came back in, could have re-upped an average. Anytime I have something like this, I risk above the actual bar that broke. So this one I'd risk over 583, so I'd want to get some average around 550. So I probably would have filled some here. You get the pull, all they fade. Matt hit this really well in chat. He nailed this thing. I just wasn't watching it, unfortunately. And after just, look at this volume fading, right? Nothing there. Nothing there. Nice, dude. That's nasty. But yeah, my entry would have been 524, re-up a little bit, and get my average up around 550, and you at least pull into the targets on each time frame. Go on to, I use the 20, the hourly, as you can see, it pulled into a perfect. And tomorrow, I feel like we can sell off into the next 2 targets. So if you're swinging, it's looking good. You'll get some pops, but it's eventually going to hit these targets. 360, 310. So yeah, any questions, guys? Pretty quick session, but wanted to do a little bit more of these. Really ugly daily chart in this thing, though. Wow. I mean, just fades every time this thing pops. Every single time. It did have a lot of volume today, I'll give it that, but it still did nothing. So. Yeah, you still could have made money on it long. You had to be quick. Yeah, no worries. Anytime, I'll be doing this much more. But we'll see how this goes tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see how the market reacts after hours. Yeah, also AMC, still short a little bit of it, like 550. But it is falling into some pretty strong 13 EMA support on larger time frames, hourly, 2 hour, 20 minute. So I don't know how much room down it's going to have. So if you're swinging this thing, just make sure you have your stops in. My stop is ultimately going to be over this after hours high now at 575. That's where I'll be watching. And I think we can move down to around 468 if we get hit. But just take profits in, Yeah, no worries, Casey. And you don't do this on Zoom as well. No, I'm not doing it on Zoom. I'm using on, what is this, OBS Studio? So I think that's pretty bad because, I've used them for just recording some stuff, and it's pretty rough. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at what you guys are seeing right now, and it's pretty rough. Yeah, literally 480p is the best we can get. So, yeah, I'll be working on it. But yeah, appreciate it, guys. We will talk soon, and I'll see you in the room tomorrow. Yeah, Zoom. It'll be on Zoom next time. It's gonna still be through YouTube, but I'm just gonna be recording things and sharing my screen off of Zoom as opposed to OBS. Our room is Iconic Traders. Rescale output. Let me see. I just know every time I try to do something with OBS, it just never looks good. Yeah, yeah. And output settings. All right, let's try this. Ready? Max performance. 1080. I raised the bit rate. Here we go. Let's see how this looks. All right, let me know if this looks any better. I'm not assuming it will. Yeah, if you guys aren't in the room, hop on in. It actually looks a little better. No, we'll give it a shot. You know, I'll be doing these every night, so we'll slowly get there. Yeah, we'll get to that point. But all right, everybody. Yeah, Zoom will be what we do tomorrow. I'm just gonna be. It's still gonna be through YouTube Live, but it's just the actual recording software I'm using to share my screen. My screen is gonna be Zoom as opposed to OBS because OBS is pretty rough. So yeah. Yeah, no worries. Anytime, guys. Anytime, anytime. All right. Talk soon, everybody. Peace on out. Thanks for dropping by. Anytime. Every day we'll be doing it, so catch y'all later.